Alright, I have a fucking headache and a half. I'm trying not to get on migraine. But, I didn't put anything yesterday, and there was, like, a few things I wanted to get out, but at the same time, it was not a good time for shit was going on. So fuck it, I'll look like I'm in the Blair Witch Project right now. At least I'm not a floating head. And even though I see people around me trying to be all, yeah, I don't see you. Of course I do. Anyway, whatever. I'm over it. One thing that came to mind was about relationships, and that don't necessarily have to mean, well, I guess it's more centered around like relationship, love kind of shit, but more like acting right. So what I mean by this is people get in relationships, let's just say your first one or whatever, you have your experiences and you each have your own viewpoints on things. One, usually you think you're right. The other one's wrong. And then you kind of build any other from there on. I think that what I've kind of noticed, well, see, I don't know, this is kind of a little weird for me because what I've started to notice is actually it's been a bit different for me, I guess. I didn't know this, but I'm trying to realize this. The fact that, see, me personally, whenever I've had something wrong, let's say with a relationship, I always would try to figure out what I'm doing wrong because I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that person. I got my goal for myself was always to find what I would consider my perfect, which doesn't have to be perfect. And I would want to be their perfect. And so obviously I'd have to improve myself constantly to become that person. And I mean, it's a ever evolving thing, really and truly, if you think about it. I think that most people don't do that. Pretty sure most people don't do that. They just like to put the blame somewhere else. People don't like to take accountability at all, which is sad. Just and then, especially, well, in my situation, there was a lot of projection. Projection is really annoying because don't put your shit on me because you feel a certain way, you know? Like, I don't feel that way. And this could be with anything, and that is one huge thing to be aware of too, is if somebody's trying to make you feel a certain way or trying to say that you're this and that, make sure you can take a step back from it so you can maybe see if it's a projection or if it's true. Because if it's projection, that could be, well, them just being, projecting, or it could be gaslighting, I don't know, depending on the scenario. Experience will tell. And you just kind of taking a step back always whenever something's not quite right. I think, because that's always worked for me. So, as much as my head feels like it's going to explode right now, I will continue on this thought, even though it's kind of weird situation here going on. Whatever, who cares? I guess see. Yeah, so I've noticed, especially like as I've gotten older, people, if you're not the kind of person to take accountability, for me, that's let's go with red flag warnings here, or at least some that I've noticed are like an automatic, like, no. If I meet somebody and let's say this guy is love bombing, I'm suspicious. This is not a good sign. I mean, of course you want somebody to show you love and affection, but there's also everything within balance. So if somebody's overdoing it, I always question why. Usually I'm right. Because in my situations I've always experienced where when that's been the case it's because they want something. And more of those times it's usually a manipulation control thing. They want control over me, over what I do, what I say, how I act, whatever. They just want to control me. Which many have tried, none has succeeded, and never will. Because you should never try to control or manipulate anybody. It doesn't matter how bad you want somebody. You should, if you ever love them, you should love them enough to let them do what they want, and they should be in alignment with you to move the way you would want without controlling them or manipulating them. It's pretty simple. And yeah, it sucks to sometimes you think you see somebody you really like or whatever, and then it's not quite going. It's almost there but not quite. and you have to let it go. See, the thing is, the real test is in like letting them go, because if letting them go, they become vindictive and want to like get some sort of revenge. That's like, there you go. I was doomed from the start. And that's a better decision if you let them go and they respect your space, but they express, they don't want that. That's awesome. Especially if they're like gentle about their, or mindful, I should say, mindful about their interactions with you, because anything that's like, forceful or just being spiteful, any negative comments, or trying to put you down, or trying to say you you're this and that, whatever, that's no good. You don't want that. If a person